Okay.
So, എല്ലാവർക്കും a very good evening. Before we begin the session, a very gentle reminder. എല്ലാവരും സെഷൻ ഉടനീളം മ്യൂട്ട് ആയിരിക്കുക. സർ, മാമിന്റെ സെഷൻ തീരുമ്പോൾ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാനും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും ചോദിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇട്ടാലും ഞങ്ങൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് മാമിന്റെ അടുത്ത് അഡ്രസ് ചെയ്യും. പിന്നെ ഈ സെഷൻ യൂട്യൂബ് ലൈവ് ആയിട്ട് സ്ട്രീം ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ ബാക്ക് ടു ദി സെഷൻ. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ thematic talk is on assistive technology and wearables. ഈ ടോപ്പിക്കിൽ എക്സ്പെർട്ട് ടോക്ക് തരാനായിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ആയിരിക്കുന്ന ഡോക്ടർ രേഷ്മ ജോസ് ഫ്രം സഹൃദയ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് ആണ്. സോ വെൽക്കം ടു യു മാം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഈ സെഷൻ അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യുവാൻ എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ സ്കൂൾ ആൻഡ് കോളേജ് സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനും ഒരു വെരി വെരി വാം വെൽക്കം. സോ നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ സ്പീക്കറിനെ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യാനും അതുപോലെ സെഷൻ ഹാൻഡ് ഓവർ ചെയ്യാനും I call upon Miss Anu Maria, KDISC District Coordinator. So over to you, Anu.
Thank you, Reshma. So, dear all, it is with great pleasure that we extend a warm welcome to Dr. Reshma Jose, an esteemed member of academic community and a distinguished expert in the field of biomedical engineering. Since 2005, Dr. Reshma has been a dedicated contributor to Sahrdaya College of Engineering and Technology, Thrissur, where she has been instrumental in shaping the Department of Biomedical Engineering. Today, we have the privilege of hosting her for this talk that promises to be both enlightening and inspiring too. Her academic journey is marked by excellence with a BTech degree from Model Engineering College and a PhD from Karunya Institute of Science and Technology. Her doctoral research focusing on the classification of liver cancer CT images using deep belief and opposition-based learning techniques with optimization. This showcases her expertise in the intersection of technology and healthcare. Beyond her academic achievements, she is deeply passionate about areas such as assistive devices, image processing, and biomechanics. Today's talk promises to delve with these fascinating realms, offering valuable insights into the advancements that are shaping our understanding to technology's role in healthcare. We are truly honored to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Reshma, and we look forward to a thought-provoking and engaging session, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Anu Maria, for that introduction. So I'm Reshma. I'm Dr. Reshma, Assistant Professor working at Sahrdaya College of Engineering and Technology, Thrissur. So I'm here to give a small insight into it's a very broad topic, assistive technologies and wearables. Since I'm also dealing with one of the projects in this area, I think I would focus on some of the things that I have done in my journey as an academician at Sahrdaya College. So let me give you a brief introduction on assistive technology, and then we will go into some projects, some work that I have done as part of assistive technology in support with the National Institute of Speech and Hearing, Trivandrum, and also APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, for which we have won several prizes and awards. So we are also a recipient of the RINC program by Startup Mission, for which we have been granted a amount of rupees 2 lakh, and which is also coming under the assistive technology theme. So I shall also give you a brief insight into what we have done in the past 2 years in the areas of assistive technology. So assistive technology, as we know, as the figure indicates here, it is a very broad term. Assistive technologies and devices are those, you can say, whose primary purpose is to maintain or improve an individual's functioning and independence, maybe to facilitate his participation and thereby improving the overall well-being and, of course, the quality of life of a person. So you can see here that assistive technology is being used in all the diverse fields of life, and it is a great support to people who have got disabilities, especially you can say those people who have problem with mobility, hearing, vision, or even having some deficient communication capacities. And some of the devices include wheelchair, processors, hearing aids. We can say some of the visual aids, some of the computer hardware and software assisting devices. And the name is the list is very huge. And so anything that any technology that you can say can assist the well-being of a person can be termed as assistive technology or assistive devices. So assistive technology is an umbrella term which includes almost all the assistive products that we use in our daily lives. May not be some of which we are buying from outside. It may be something that we are creating by our own, and the related systems that you are using for these products and also the services. So according to World Health Organization, assistive technology is a subset of health technology, and it refers to almost all the assistive products and related systems and services which are developed for people to maintain or improve the functioning and thereby promoting the well-being of the person. Now, as defined by International Classification of Functioning, Disability and Health, it is also defining assistive products, but as a different, the definition is little bit simple, a little bit different, but the meaning is almost the same. They are any technology or products, instrument, equipment, or technology which is adapted or specially designed for improving the functioning of a person with a disability. And according to International Organization for Standardization or ISO, it defines assistive products more broadly as any product that is especially produced or generally available that is used by or for persons with disability. And maybe these devices are specially used for increasing the participation of the person with disability. It may be to protect, support, or train, measure, or even substitute any body functions, or even to prevent any type of impairments or activity limitators. So the application of assistive technology is not limited to one field. You can say that it is limited to a diverse field in the field of writing, task management, speech conversion, time management, hearing, reading, communication, built-in accessibility, note-taking. It is an endless list because whatever disability we have, not only physical disability, but even for mental disability, we have assistive devices which can help us get better. So assistive technology is not only limited to some medical devices in which we have developed, but it is pertaining to almost all fields of our life. So going for a very broad classification of assistive devices may not be very much, it will be very prolonging. So I will give you a very brief classification of assistive devices. So one of the assistive devices that we normally come across, which are of great importance for older people and also for people with some kind of disability, are mobility aids. So mobility aids are, you can say, they are devices which are designed to help people who have problems moving around, and something that they have, there's something that inhibits their greater freedom of movement and also their independence. So mostly people who have disability or injuries, older adults who are at increased risk of falling, mainly make use of these mobility aids. So for examples, the best examples we can quote for mobility aids are wheelchairs, scooters, walkers, canes and crutches, prosthetic devices, orthotic devices, and so on. And most of the devices that we are having under these category are commercially available. But for advanced methodology or for advanced technological input of in these devices may increase the cost of these. But it's not possible that one can lead a better standard of life if we are not having these mobility aids and if we are suffering from some kind of a disability. Okay. So nowadays, input from the technological advancements have grown into such an extent that even any type of problem or any type of add-ons we can fit into these mobility aids. As an example, I'll just show you a video of a climbing wheelchair, which you may be interested in watching. It is one of the inventions that has been very,
Ma'am, audio visible അല്ല ma'am.
So as you could see from this video, this particular wheelchairs normally we can see that they are used for increasing the mobility only within the spaces within our home. And when we go outside with a wheelchair, there are some practical limitations. For example, most of the wheelchairs, it is difficult to carry disabled people through staircases and terrain, slopey areas as well as hilly areas. So such type of inventions or advanced technological applications or input to assistive devices have increased the capacity of wheelchairs, and they can be used for even wider applications. So people can have these wheelchairs, but of course at a increased cost. Okay, so going to the some of the pioneers of these assistive devices. Since I am coming from an academic background, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to some of the pioneers in assistive technology, and one of them is Professor Sujata, and she comes from the IIT, or Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and she is one of the pioneers in assistive technology. And her areas of interest mostly include the prosthetics, orthotics, and biomechanics. And most important thing to speak about her is she heads the Center for Rehabilitation Research and Device Development at IIT, and she has been a part of developing several types of assistive devices, I should say low cost assistive devices, which has been very much useful for people for mobility. Mostly she has done innovations in wheelchairs and also mobility aid, several type of mobility aids, and that has won her prestigious national awards. And she has also won, her project teams have won prestigious national competitions in assistive devices, and many of them were patentable, and she has received patents, and some of them are in the list or they are been filed for receiving patents. So you can call Mrs. Sujata Srinivasan IITM or as one of the pioneers in assistive technology in terms of academics. And several of them under Professor Sujata, she has been doing wonderful work in the field of assistive technology. And one famous, yes, one of her famous contribution, you might have you might have seen this or heard about this. This IIT Madras, it developed India's first indigenous motorized wheelchair vehicle, and the name of the wheelchair is Neo Bolt. Okay, and this Neo Bolt, she has started as a startup, and it has been co-founded by Professor Sujata Srinivasan and IIT Madras alumnus Mr. Swastik Saurabh Dash. And both of them together has founded the Neo Motion. And now the greatest contribution of this startup is a wheel more completely or indigenously motorized wheelchair, which is known as Neo Bolt. And Neo Bolt, in connection with or Neo Bolt has contributed to Neo Fly, which is again an advanced version of a wheelchair that can be specially used for moving around independently, not only within the house, but also for work, for shopping, for any type of, you can think about anything and anywhere. This Neo Bolt is a very advanced wheelchair with which the mobility is not at all a problem. So all you have to do is you have to strap to the front scooter of Neo Bolt, and then you can independently control this particular device to move around. So NeoBolt, developed by Professor Sujata Srinivasan, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Madras, has been commercialized through the startup which is known as Neo Motion. So I just want to show you a brief video on how this Neo Bolt works. So as you could see, this Neo Bolt is actually a wheelchair combined with a scooter-like part, which is powered by a battery and a motor. And both combined together, you can actually use it for any type of moving around on the road, to shop, to work, or to anywhere. So this indigenous product is a contribution of IIT Madras, and many of such innovations are being done there. And you can see that IIT Madras is one of the pioneers in developing assistive technology devices. Okay. Now, next type of assistive devices, maybe you can say, are hearing aids. So hearing aids has also been a wonderful innovation or wonderful type of assistive device, which is mainly used for people who are having hearing problems. So in hearing, people who use hearing aids are having mostly two type of hearing losses. One may be sensory neural hearing loss, and other may be conductive hearing loss. So conductive hearing loss occurs when the sound conduction is impeded through the external ear or even the middle ear or even both. And sensory neural hearing loss occurs when there is a problem with the cochlea or the neural pathway or even the auditory cortex. Okay, and sometimes some people may suffer from both type of hearing losses, which is known as a mixed hearing loss, either due to some kind of infections or head trauma or even genetic disorders. So hearing aids are mostly used for such type of people who are having any of these type of hearing losses. And as you can see, a hearing aid mainly consists of a microphone, and this microphone, it receives the microphone is used for converting the sound signals that is picked up from the external environment, and microphone converts the sound waves into electrical signals, and these electrical signals are then amplified by an amplifier. You can see from the figure there is an amplifier here, and amplifier, it actually increases the power of the electrical signals and then send them back to the speaker, and it is a speaker output that is going to the patients or the hearing deficient person's ears, and so he or she can hear properly. Okay, so different according to the hearing defects of the person, different formats of hearing aids are being devised by many companies, and it is one type of assistive device that is used very frequently, and the number of buyers are more in number, and especially, and also it is not very costly, and hence it can be used by a whole lot of people. And latest innovations with the better battery power as well as more sophisticated noise cancellation our hearing aids are available in the market now. And so hearing aids, you can see, is one of the other assistive device which is very much useful for the common man. Then another type of assistive device comes under the cognitive aids. So you can see, that there are people or there are children who are having some cognitive problems, attention deficit problems, people who some children who are having some communicative problems, which need some kind of an assistance. Okay, so main challenge in these type of children are that you cannot identify their cognitive problems at a very younger age. And even if you identify, that there is a stigma in the society, that such kind of cognitive problems should not be exposed, or it will bring a bad name to the children. Okay, so the later you start to treat it, the more worse it becomes, and sometimes it may go to a stage where these children cannot be brought back to their normal self. So one of the challenges that I received during the Corona time was developing an augmentative and alternative communication device. So this alternative and augmentative communication device, it was actually a challenge or project proposal from National Institute of Speech and Hearing. You must have heard National Institute of Speech and Hearing. It is a center in Trivandrum. So there they are having a Center for Assistive Technology and Innovation, and this CATI, or Center for Assistive Technology and Innovation, together with the APJ Abdul Kalam University, they together called for a project proposal to develop a very low-cost augmentative and communicative device, and that was mainly to help the differentially able children in communicating better and doing their daily activities, and thus bringing a better quality of life. So AAC in general, you can say, is utilized by a wide range of people with speech and language impairments, including congenital impairments, cerebral palsy, intellectual impairment, and autism. But our project was not focused to a particular group of people. It was a general device that is used for children who are having this attention deficit and communicative problems, mainly because they are shy in nature and they don't want to communicate with people. Maybe the children are more comfortable in communicating with devices, but when it comes to talking or interacting with people, these children are not able to do that. Okay, so These are some of the devices which are commercially available as augmentative and alternative communication device. You can see the first one is a very popular product by Big Mac. So you can see that there is a black surface on which there is a red button mounted, and this red button is a force sensor. So whenever the child wants to speak something to the adult or to the caregiver, he or she can press that button, and they can record their voice, and then they can play it back to their people, or the older person or the caregiver or the parent can play it back at a later time. So these force sensors are actually a one challenge for us, because when we are developing a force sensor to be used by such kind of children, they have to be very sensitive in nature. And the children, such kind of differentially able children, they may be very hot-tempered, or they are not having much of a patience, so they may use this device in a very not in a very proper manner. They may throw it off. So the device that we have to develop should be able to resist such kind of harsh use by the children. So the first device that we came across, or we saw from the market, was the Big Mac, which was actually a communicating device. But the problem was with Big Mac is that these devices are not manufactured here. They are mainly manufactured in US. So when it is brought here, the charges are, or the after the import duty and all, the price is very high. And also, if there is any problem with such devices, there are not many service centers here who can actually rectify this. Cost is high, and also after sales is very low. After sales service is very low. So the challenge that we were given is to develop a better version of Big Mac or similar devices, which would provide the same facility. Mainly the facility that I told you now was recording the voice and playing it back. And also it should be a very attractive device which can be used very roughly by the children. Then some of the other commercially available products that I have already shown on the screen. They are certain kind of like you have a screen, and some children, they don't speak out what they want, like they want to go to toilet or meet their parents or some other use. They can actually select the some of the options and tell what, and that indicates what they want. So it is given as pictures, so they can select their desires. And also some of them may be training kind of a rhymes and all, which can be actually played by the children during their study sessions. So these kind of cognitive aids actually help the children for till a particular age, and after that they can go for advanced treatments like the Avaz app, where they are trained for better communication. So till that point of time, they require some kind of an interactive device, and we were given the challenge to take up this and develop a user-friendly as well as a low-cost device. Of course, we didn't have a funding for that. It was a challenge. So we had to develop it with minimum amount of money, and also minimum, and also it should be very simple in nature. So our college, we developed this device, and this was the device that we developed in our college with the help of our team members. And during the award session, we were given the best product award, and we received it from the respectable Minister for Higher Education, Dr. R. Bindu. Okay. So some of the problems with this AAC adoption is that AAC adoption has been very low, because I told you there are some stigmas in the society, and also the available solutions in the market are very costly, and for imported devices, the after sale service is very, very poor. So the solution was to develop an indigenous and low cost AAC device that not only helps in communicating, but doing the daily activities, and also attain independent life. Okay, so in the beginning, we go for such low cost or low technology devices, but when they attain sufficient proficiency in this AAC device, they can go to high technology devices of greater sophistication. Okay, so these are some of the target customers that we saw had a great advantage of using this product, mainly people with autistic children formed around 34%, then children with deaf and blindness, developmental delay, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, traumatic brain injury. So this was a general classification of the percentage value of the differentially abled children that were the potential target customers for our product. So and also these are the companies that mainly produce these products. You can see that most of the products the number of products produced by the Big Mac company, they actually score the highest point. And also they are followed by Go Talk 4 Plus, then 7 Step by Step. All these companies are also equal competitors, you can say good competitors of these type of AAC devices. But I told you the problem with such kind of devices that they are not very much available here, and which are available are very costly, and the after sales service is very low. Then other type of assistive devices, they include computer software and hardware. And you can see that some of the advantages of using such kind of assistive devices are voice recognition programs. Then some of the people with differentially able people, they are not able to read the screens and enlarge the screen applications. Okay, so such screen readers and screen enlargement applications are also one type of assistive device. Then adjustable touch screen stylus. All these are the different types of computer software and hardware type of assistive devices. Then some of the low-cost assistive devices which can be used for educational activities. We can see the automatic page turner. Some people, they are not able to even turn the pages. So turn automatic page turners, then book holders, then pencil grips. All these are very low cost, actually seems very simple, but it actually makes a difference when it is in the hands of the most needy people. Then another type of assistive device which you might have heard about are the closed captioning, which allows people with hearing and visual problems to watch movies, television programs, and digital media. So one of such very popular type of assistive device is the OrCam device, and show you a small video of this.
Reshma ma'am, audio work ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല ട്ടോ.
Audio is not working?
Audio is not working while you're sharing the YouTube videos.
Okay. Okay, so as you might have seen from the video, it is just a device that can be used for a voice activated device that you can actually use this device for, or you can use it with virtually any type of glasses, and it can read to you any type of text from a book, or you can read a smartphone screen or any other type of services. You can recognize faces, objects, and even products. Some of them, or you can they can also identify some of the US currency, then credit cards, etc. So all these type of image processing techniques are actually very much advanced in this OrCam device, and it is can be used with almost any, or fitted into any type of glasses, and it was a great help for people who are visually impaired, to see devices, read text, identify people, of course, with a greater cost. Then some of the other assistive devices, which is normally it is not maybe not classified as a assistive device, but this physical modification in your physical environment that can also be classified as a assistive device. See, here you can see, there is a type of a wheelchair or a chair that can be actually rolled down from these stairs. Okay, so such type of environment which provides a better modified environment, which includes some kind of ramps, doorways, which will enable the differentially abled people to walk away easily with their devices or their wheelchairs, can also be considered as assistive devices. Okay. And some of the assistive devices are those which are, mobility devices itself, but which are lightweight and high performance, and that with enable persons with disabilities to play some kind of sports. I should say one of the most interesting one that I have seen is that of Oster Pistorius. So Oster Pistorius, he is a South African former professional sprinter. And at the age of 11, both his feet were amputated. And not age of 11 months, when he was a newborn baby, both his feet were amputated. And even then, he was actually a very physically fit person. So he was more into he was trained in sports such as rugby and boxing. And in June 2003, after a serious knee injury, he had to go through a very rigorous rehabilitation. And as part of the rehabilitation, he was introduced into athletics. So the device that he used is clearly shown in this figure. It is known as Flex Food Cheetah carbon fiber processes. So again, a very efficient assistive device. And this device was specially designed by a biomedical engineer known as Van Phillips. Okay. And he designed it exclusively for his high performance athletic activities. And because of his extraordinary performance with this blade like carbon fiber prosthetic device, he was also called as the Blade Runner. So his achievements were he won the third overall in the single below knee amputee in 2004 Summer Paralympics. He won gold for 100, 200 and 400 meters, breaking the world record for 200 meters at 2006 IPC Athletics World Championship. Like that, the number of awards and recognitions he has received is endless, all because of this fantastic assistive device or prosthetic device that was developed by a brilliant biomedical engineer. And the material that was used was carbon fiber. As you know, carbon fiber is a very lightweight biomaterial which are very flexible in nature, and also it is very flexible. As a result of its flexibility, the movement that can be aided by this device is also huger. Okay, so even though he participated and won such of laurels, he has been the subject of criticism also, because there were claims that his artificial limbs gave him an additional advantage than people with natural ankles and feet. So it means that the device was so perfect in nature that even it was good enough to beat the natural ankle and feet of a person. And as a result, he was many times challenged, and he also requested to participate with people with normal feet in the athletics, but he was rejected. And he was also known for his many of his activities, or he was very ill-famed by the conviction for murder which he was subjected to. And he killed his girlfriend in the year, I think, 2013. And after that, he was imprisoned for 11 years. And after that, he never pursued his career as an athlete, and he could not participate. But I think in 2016 again he was given the permission to again participate. I think 2016 or 2018 he was again given the permission to participate in the Paralympics. but in the later years, his achievements were not that predominant. Till 2008, he has won several of the laurels, which was actually very credible and very difficult for a person with both legs amputated. Then some of the other adaptive devices, small adaptive devices as switches and utensils, which were also specially designed for children or people with, not very stable hands and feet. So you can see that the fork and spoon have with a strap-like attachment. That is also a very simple add-on, but it is very useful with people who cannot actually use their normal hands for eating. And also motorized toothbrushes and even subtended combs, forks, all these plates and bowls. They are also a part of these assistive devices, which is very useful for people who do not have their a natural ability to perform their activities. Then now at Sahrdaya College also, we come from the Department of Biomedical Engineering, and in our college also we are very passionate about some doing projects in the field of biomedical engineering, in the field of assistive devices, and some of the devices that we have developed in our college. So first one is again an artificial limb that is used for differentially able people and amputed, actually hand amputee, which can be which they can use for their activities. It is just a model or a prototype. It is not an actual. It is not a a product that can be commercialized. It is just a prototype. In the second figure, you can see a kind of wheelchair that is also very special in nature. You can see that there is a partition in the upper portion. So when it comes to people with bedridden, especially bedridden people who can actually sit, this wheelchair, when it comes closer to them, it just splits into two, and it actually takes that people by the small support mechanism at the base of the wheelchair, and the patient can be transferred to the wheelchair without any effort from the side of the person. And using the controllable motors, they can actually drive to their destination. Okay, so it is one device that was found to be it is very effective, and it was actually demonstrated with people of weight below 50 kgs. Then another type of assistive device that we have developed is a kind of a structure that we can fit it into our vehicles. You know that mostly if there is any type of an emergency, if there is any fall or accident, or if there is any type of emergency for older people in our houses, we normally have to wait for the ambulance to come. Otherwise, it is very difficult to lift this person, and they cannot, the normal cars cannot actually accommodate the people for, they cannot lay down and take these people to the hospitals. So this type of structure is actually been designed for a average person who they can actually fit it into the car, and this particular structure can be attached to the car seats, and it actually permits a faster mobility to the hospitals. And in the fourth figure, again, this is an assistive device which were developed by the final year students. It is a kind of device in which, you know that these paramedical staffs, they are actually suffering from a spine. Mostly after working for a few years, they suffer from spinal problems because very commonly they have to lift these heavy patients, and continuous lifting and shifting, it causes a problem in the spine. So this is actually a wearable exoskeleton which can be worn by these type of paramedical staffs and other people, those who are engaging in this kind of activities, and this provides a force from the downside of the spinal region and helps them to as a support mechanism to lift the people. So actually this is actually a quite heavy a prototype, but because of any cost constraints, we could not actually go for a low cost and lower weight one. But we developed a prototype which was found to be working in assisting such kind of people in lifting heavy objects or heavy people and transferring them to the beds. So these are some of the products that we have developed, or the students of our college have developed, which has won several project competitions, and they have actually received a lot of appreciation for these products. And one of the most prestigious awards that the students of our college have received was the Gandhian Young Technology Innovation Awards, or the GITE Awards 2016, in which the students guided by Mr. Jibin Jose, they were awarded the GITE Awards for the product automatic urination system for physically disabled people, in which the physically disabled people, those who are suffering from, or they are bedridden, they cannot go for urination and defecation. So they developed a product in which by laying down, the people can actually do such kind of activities. It will be washed and clean, and not much effort is needed, or not even a bystander is needed for people to take care of them. So this particular product, it won the Gandhian Young Technology Awards 2016. So these are some of the broad classifications of the assistive devices. Now, I have just pointed out some of the most common assistive devices and some of the devices which we have developed in our college. But actually, assistive devices, it carries a wider meaning. A lot of other products can also be included under assistive devices. But I think these are the common assistive devices. Since I am from a biomedical engineering field, these are some of the assistive devices that we normally are interested in, and which we think that is very helpful in improving the lives of people. Now, going to the wearables, I think as students, you will be more interested, or you may have more knowledge about wearables that we are normally using in our daily lives. So wearables, we can say, is any type of any type of wearing devices, or devices which we can wear as in our body, or on our body, or inside our body, which can be used or which has got some computer applications in it. For example, the smart bracelet, smart ring, smart belt, smart pants, all these smart watches, all these devices which can be controlled from our side, and which actually helps in getting some kind of a vital data, are actually classified as wearables. So some of the wearables that are common and which I think is very much known by you are shown in this figure. So if you just classify it, go for a classification in the figure, you can see there are some wearables that you are using inside the body. There are some wearables that you are using on the body. And there are some wearables that you can using closer to the body. So whatever may be the type of wearables, it has got some functions. And these functions are especially for enhancing the quality of life of the people. And according to the US users preference, we can say that most of the people have they are more interested in clipping the wearables to their clothing. According to the survey taken, or adults, by online adults, North American consumer technology survey, you can see that 29% of those were clipped into the clothing, 28% into the wrist, 18% to the shoes, 15% into the clothing, and so on. So these are some of the users' preference in using different kinds of wearables available in the market. So components of wearables, you know that there will be a human interface system, which is otherwise known as a humionics. There will be some kind of network for connecting the input and output. And finally, you are having an input-output device. So the humionics is actually very different from, actually these wearables that you are wearing is a sort of computer. And this wearable computer is not fundamentally same as that of the regular computer that you are using. So since you are wearing that computer, it should be constantly available to the user. It should not require any user attention. And it should be able to communicate the user with the outside world. So some of the common networking that you are using for such kind of wearables are the cellular digital packet data, the wired and wireless connections, the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, infrared or radio signals. There are a lot of networking options for such kind of wearables. Then some of the input devices that you are using may be the speech recognition, then some of the gestures that you are giving, your thumb typing, the keyboard input, etc. And some of the output devices is mostly your mountable device or not mountable devices. Some of the mountable devices may be head mountable devices or head mounted displays with earpiece. Then some with earpiece, some with other kind of displays. Maybe depending upon the device, you may have an endless number of options. Some of the common wearable devices. One of this is the smart shirt. So smart shirt is actually a clothing which is made from a very smart fabric, which are actually padded with some kind of a sensors. So sensors are the input are the major components of the any kind of smart technologies which is used for which takes the input data. So such kind of wearable smart shirt can be used for physiological monitoring of various type of vital parameters of a person. Some of the vital parameters are heart rate, respiration rate, temperature, and other such activities. So smart shirt is one such wearables. Then all of you must be having the smart watch. Smart watch is again a computerized wristwatch, and its functionality is beyond timekeeping. We know that the smartwatch is not only used for checking the time. It has got endless number of applications. You can even check your mails. You can give a call. You can check your heart rate, your how many steps you have taken since morning. All these different types of applications you can do with smartwatch. Then another type of wearable device is smart glass. Smart glass is again a wearable computer with OHMD with optical head mounted display, or which can be used or which has the capability of reflecting your projected digital images, and you can see through it or even access through it in a wide variety of ways. Another type of wearables is again Google Glass. Google Glass is again a very, very attractive device which allows to take pictures, record videos. Then it has got inbuilt GPS system, which has got even the capacity to translate your voice into some other languages. And also some advanced type of Google Glass that you can pair it to your mobile phone. Then it is actually acting as a Bluetooth headset for your phone. And also you can check your mails. You can access through Google Now, Google Maps. All these different applications are possible. Then again, a smart ring. Smart ring is again a wearable Bluetooth enabled device, which again allows the user to check smartphone alerts. And then you can manage phone calls. You can manage the settings of the gadget, mobile applications, and then even use the device as a watch or even phone finder. There are endless number of applications. Okay, so these are some of the smart devices or smart wearables that you usually use. They actually very higher end devices which are all very, very expensive in nature. Okay, so these are some of the things that I wanted to share with you. Both this assistive technology and wearables are actually having a wider classification than I just taken for you. But more coming to wearables are actually form a wide variety, but assistive devices are actually having more number of users. Actually the users need more kind of assistive devices, and so better technological inputs are actually wanted in assistive devices pertaining mainly to mobility, visual aids, as well as hearing capacities, children with communication disability. All these are you are having endless number of customers. Wearables are actually an add-on, or actually you can say if you you need not have it if you don't have money, but assistive devices are actually the need of the hour. And the more and more innovations you make in assistive devices, it becomes a better product. And in our country, as I told before, Indian Institute of Technology Madras is a pioneer. many professors there are involved in active or very actively doing research in assistive devices, and they have come up with various startups and ventures. And Professor Sujata is actually a pioneer, and she has been the main source of inspiration in developing assistive products. Okay, so that's all. I hope all of you had a fruitful session. If anyone has any kind of a question, they can ask. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The floor is now open for the questions. So you can ask your queries to ma'am right now.
ഹലോ മാം.
Yes.
ഒരു പ്രീ ആയിട്ട് നേരത്തെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അത് ഇതാണ്: ഹൗ ആർ ദ അസിസ്റ്റീവ് ടെക്നോളജീസ് ലിവേജിങ് ദ വേരിയബിൾസ് ടു എൻഹാൻസ് ദ ക്വാളിറ്റി ഓഫ് ലൈഫ് ഫോർ ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽസ് വിത്ത് ഡിസേബിലിറ്റീസ്?
Assistive technologies actually take the inputs from technology. As I told you, there are base level devices, low tech technology devices, and also devices with inculcating higher end technologies. And these type of higher end technology assistive devices can be actually transformed into wearables. Okay, so as I told you, wearables are not actually a must for disabled person. You need not have costly wearables to walk around, but for people with a disability or differentially able people need assistive device with higher end technology at a lower cost. Okay, so assistive devices are actually taking the or paving the path for advanced wearables. Many of these advanced wearables are actually coming from higher end produced assistive devices. So technology is incorporated in wearables for developing, and the idea comes from the assistive devices. Okay, hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Madam, I have a question.
Huh.
Madam, is there any device, wearable device available to monitor fetus in pregnant women?
Yes, there are commercial. I don't. If you get back to me after this session, I will just go through that product. Actually, in our college we have done the wearable fetal device. This fetal device is commercially very not available here, but it is available in the market abroad, and all it is available, where you can wear it as a wearable device, and you can find the fetal heart rate. You can actually feel the count the movements the baby makes inside your, or the fetus makes inside the womb. A lot of applications you can use. So it is just a very simple device. You can just wear it and strap it around the belly and just on it. It will give you just like you wear your watch and you can get the ECG's heart rate and all this. You can wear it on your tummy and you can get the fetal heart rate. It's available in the market. If you get back to me, I don't remember the product, because inspired by this product, we had developed in our college a fetal monitor for getting the fetal heart rate, which can be actually used as a wearable. Yes, it is commercially available.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Yes.
Ma'am, we have a question in the chat box. That's
Okay.
from Anupama. So, can we make a low cost spectacles like cam? That's what she's asked.
Low cost spectacles, yes, that technology is actually image processing technology. So here it is not. I have not seen anyone even using that product. Only in abroad or in US and UK, I have heard such existence of such products. But these devices, I think many are experimenting on it. The basic technology here is image processing. You are working out on images, and depending upon depending upon what type of image you want to process. For example, if it is a currency, you know that the currency has got some specific features. Okay, so it is taking the data of the currency or the currency of any particular nation, and they are identifying some features from this image, and then based on some classifiers that they are using, they are classifying it as node. Similarly, they have image processing techniques for reading a book. I told you this particular product can also be used for converting, or reading a text. Okay, so it is actually converting that image into or the text into a voice. So they are taking that part of the book and and they are identifying the letters again with the help of some image processing tools, and again they're reading out to the person. So all these are image processing techniques which you can actually, which a lot of work is being done in this. But the product like OrCam, it cannot be actually made in a 1 or 2 days. But still, that techniques some of it are actually being implemented. That's existing here. For example, text to speech conversion methods are there. But in a class, how the technology is applied, that I'm not very sure. It is an advanced technology, but yes, it is possible. Yes.
Ma'am, we have 2 questions which is being put up on YouTube. So it's going live. So first one is they want to know what is the full form of AAC.
AAC stands for Augmentative and Assistive Communication Device. Augmentative and assistive communication device means some kind of devices that the children, for example, an autistic person, you know that autistic people are very much, resistant, or they are very much, reluctant to speak to people. They don't want to face people or community or even their parents. Some of them even don't talk with their parents. So, but it is seen that such people have, or such small children have a attraction towards device, because devices are not asking any questions. They are not seeing your expressions. They are not talking to you according to your facial expressions. So that gives a comfort level for these children. Okay. So such devices, interactive devices, which can be used for enhancing the communication capacity of a individual, maybe mostly children, they are known as augmentative and assistive communication device. So I gave you an example. We were working on augmentative and communication device for the National Institute of Speech and Hearing, wherein we were given the project proposal of developing a device which has to be low cost. I told you Big Mac and all produces several of these these AAC devices, but the limitations are that they are not available in the Indian market, and even if we are importing it, it is very expensive, and after sales is not very much possible. And mostly this will be repaired, or it will be hampered by the rugged use by the children. Such kind of assistive devices are useful for children only till a particular age. But after they have crossed a particular age, or their communication abilities have improved, they can go for a higher end communication devices. Like they can be trained by a audio therapist in apps like Avas, and wherein they can be trained for a better communication. Okay, so augmentative and assistive communication device are actually devices for enhancing the communication capacities of children with a disability.
Okay, ma'am. The next, it's not a question again. It's from Nitin Koshi on YouTube. On YouTube again. So, name of the artificial athletic leg. He wants to know the name of the artificial athletic leg.
Athletic leg. Actually, I think it is given as a flex foot cheetah. Flex foot cheetah. Actually, that product name is foot cheetah. That is given as flex foot cheetah, and it is actually a customized kind of a carbon fiber foot that is been specifically designed according to the customer's requirement. So here the customer requirement is a athlete, and he's mainly participating in para or Olympics and such kind of athletic activities. So biomedical engineer named Van Philip, he had specially designed this particular product for him. And as I told you, carbon fibers are mostly very much flexible in nature. They are resistant. They are very much strong, and that gives the flexibility for designing such kind of food. So the name given here is Flex Food Cheetah. I think that product name is like that.
Okay, ma'am. And the next one is about the brain-computer interface devices. That's all is asked. Brain-computer interface devices.
Brain-computer interface devices. I don't know whether it comes under assistive devices. Actually, I'm not very clear about brain-computer interface. Maybe there are people with, I think there are people who cannot actually communicate, or their thinking cannot be conveyed to other people. So actually, you are interfacing the thought process of such people with the help of such computers, and actually coming to know of their intellectual capacity or their thought processes through interfacing. So I'm not very clear about that. Brain computer interface is again another area. It does not actually come under assistive devices.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions? Ma'am, I think that's it for today
Okay.
from our participants. Shall we wind up on this session, ma'am?
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you for your patient listening. And once again, I would like to thank you for inviting me.
So thank you, ma'am, for taking up this session. It was indeed very insightful. Actually, it is not easy to live with impairments and disability, and you have actually showcased the different possibilities to make life much easier, and also open a niche of ideas for innovations for simplifying the life of such people. And I'm sure your this particular theme is very well conveyed to the students, and we are indeed sure that the students have assimilated the proper essence of the need of innovation for impact for those in need of the help of assistive devices. So thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you for accepting our invite and giving us such a wonderful session today. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you on behalf of KDISC, YIP, and also all the participants who have been with us today. Thank you all, and thank you, ma'am, once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.